you gonna do? The odds are stacked against you. Back against the wall, gotta give it your all. This is the final stand. The power's in your hand. Two worlds collide on the inside. You gotta fight for what's right before it's gone, gone, gone. This is Bakugan. Balls!
Really love
Balls!
I find it rather funny that you'd gladly go ahead and make crappy shorts that have less creativity than a 3-year-old's drawing, yet continue to be a coward in the comment section, and by that I mean comment on people's videos and then straight up delete it a second after. Like, the fuck even is this? Even Orville Peati from the X-Files would look at this and be like, what the fuck kind of crap is this? And then go on to show you how it's actually done. I also find it funny how you then made a short about my last video on you making fun of how many likes and views it had at the time, and then went on to make...
Hate to sell games.
What about?
Shut the f*** up!
They didn't really change my character.
whatever this was fucking about. Let me address this short. When I upload a video, it doesn't get a whole lot of likes straight away. Hell, given the size of my channel, I don't even get a whole lot of views unless it's commentary related. And no, that doesn't mean I'm gonna stop uploading these type of videos. Not a chance. So yeah, when my video went up on the first day, it didn't have a lot of likes. So, it had only been one fucking day. Not only does it have a few more likes now, but it's also surpassed 1,000 views. Also, I don't exactly have a giant following or audience. In fact, I barely think I have the latter. But I seriously find it funny that you try to say my video failed because of how many likes it had. At least I actually make content, Nimrod. And I think my comment here sums you people up perfectly. And as I also state, I'd take you far more seriously if you didn't delete your comments. Good thing that the YouTube notification still has them pop up, so I was able to screenshot them for this exact moment. Yeah, you were probably best keeping your trap shut so I wouldn't be making a part 2. Now there's a face only a mother could love. Oh, come now, Auntie, don't say that. I'm sure there's someone who'll find you good looking. Don't put yourself up like that. Yeah, basically my take on the saying, I know you are, but what am I line, but what the fuck did you expect? Oh, did you think you were the only one who could act like a 5-year-old? Bro, I still am 5. Or 3. Or both some days. Depends on my mood. Or something else, do people seriously still say this shit? This is immature on a pathetic scale, and says more about you than it does me. At least I get out of the house. And why did you post this comment on this video? Of all the videos with my face shown, why this one? You could have done it to this video and it kind of would have made a bit more sense. Or to one of my fan-made music videos that I used to do years ago. But no, you chose this one. Why? Why the fuck would you choose to do it to a video where I state that I'm going to be doing a road trip down the South Island of New Zealand with my parents? I honestly wonder if you've ever heard of this thing called grass, because I think you should go and touch some. I also find it... Okay, what the hell is with my obsession with the word also? Like, why? Why am I so hooked on that word? I feel like no matter what script I write up, I end up using multiple alsos throughout it like the word's going out of business. Whatever. Back to what I was saying. I find it funny how you managed to take Haru talking about Dan and Drago being the poster children of Bakugan, and make it sound like he agrees that Bakugan couldn't survive without them, when that wasn't what he said. Learn to listen. If after Gen 3, they're done with Gen 3, they then decide to Gen 4, because they start running out of ideas, and they decide this time they're not going to include Dan and Drago, how would that make you feel, the fan of the series?
Well, I've been shocked first of all. The only thing I really agree with them about is that Dan and Drago are the poster children of the franchise. So obviously, if you're gonna have Bakugan, you're gonna have Dan and Drago. But if they decide to go the Pokemon route where they change up the main character after so many years, as long as it's good, then I'm all for it.
It'd be very different without Dan and Drago, but it could very much work. Hell, this fanfiction I've been reading works, and Dan and Drago are barely in the fucking thing. And if you want to read, I'll leave a link in the description. It's genuinely really fucking good. Also, Haru knows a lot fucking more than you do, dumbass. At least I know how to spell anti. I don't even overly understand this comment. Like, did you flunk punctuation in English class or something? Did you also turn your brain off while watching, if you even have one? The purpose of the video was to call you, your moron friends, and everyone in your stupid little cult out for the toxic bullshit you people have all done. That was the purpose of the video, and I have a feeling you'd probably be a lot more scared if made by a creator with a much bigger following like Jet Kuso. Also, it doesn't change the fact that your disgusting behavior has been shown to anyone watching and will know the type of person you are. And they'll learn a little bit more after this video too. This comment, I don't even know what it's in response to, so I'm not gonna bother with it. Unless you're referring to how well it did, which I already addressed, so let's move on. In regards to the losses, I stated that while the battle with Reaper ended in a draw, had Drago not gained the major power boost he did, he'd have lost. Episode 4 and 6, when they faced off again, Drago won. As for Darak, yeah, he lost. Go back and watch episode 24 of Gundalian Invaders. Also, what chubby guy? The only chubby guy in Bakugan I know of is Shuji, and I'm very much aware he didn't lose to him, otherwise I'd have addressed it. But Dan beats him every time, and that's mainly because Shuji is a twat who thinks he's hot shit at Bakugan when he can't even beat his little sister Nene. Something that changes in the fanfiction I mentioned. Unless you're referring to Bracken from Battle Planet, which I addressed doesn't really count as the guy was straight up cheating. So I don't really know what you're getting at. And great that you commented this and then deleted it, meaning I can't even tell what else you fucking wrote. Coward. I never said Magnus beat Dan in the first episode. Those words never once left my lips. I just used footage from the first episode because I can't find the rest of the episodes of Battle Planet, and I kinda just figured fuck it. And Magnus didn't beat Dan 2 times, he beat him 3. And only one of those was a straight one-on-one. Even in the other 2 fights where Dan had his friends to help, Magnus still beat him. And his friends. They had 3 more battles which all ended in no outcome, and 3 other battles where Dan won. So basically, safe to call that a tie. Following on from that to this Nimrod who keeps commenting on the video and fails to bring a valid argument or any facts and evidence when asked, the point of that little segment in the video was addressing every fight he had that he did not win. That was it. So I included some draws. So what? Doesn't invalidate the original point I was making, which was that Dan and Drago haven't won every single battle they've ever had. At least I can commend you for getting the amount of times Magnus beat Drago and Dan right, so you get points for that at least. Still doesn't make the top of your comment valid. Yeah, for some reason, this comment and 2 others of his never actually went through, which I find really weird, so either YouTube's being a prick again, or he did an anti and deleted them. However, not like they really matter, as they're basically the same fucking thing in regards to Darak, which I already addressed, and then he moves on to Anubius, who he, for some reason, keeps calling Anubis, while completely forgetting the A between the I and S. And as you've already stated, Anubius won because Dan and Drago weren't fighting at full power. But explain why Drago couldn't beat Horidian. Episode 6 doesn't count because Zenthon showed up out of fucking nowhere, which resulted in Dan getting disqualified. Dan and Drago got taken out by both Anubius and Cellon in episode 16. And he also made this comment that someone gave me, which is basically him further talking out of his ass while calling my video cringe, you mean like your entire channel, while bitching about the amount of likes it has. I've already addressed everything I really intended to in my last video, but there was something I did want to bring up. Didn't you say you were leaving? Didn't you make a comment back on the 18th of February that you were done with Bakugan and giving up because Dan isn't as interesting as OG Dan? Also, Hellion, don't waste your breath. You also complained about Haru making a video on Mia, which is well within his right, as it's also his channel. As he said, she is best girl, which Haru did confirm to me later that he did actually say that, and he can make videos talking about her as much as he wants. You can read the rest of this crap if you want, I don't care, but what I seriously don't get is why you're still here at all. I thought you were leaving. We all thought you were leaving. You even fucking said you were. Just looking at the 3 screenshots I showed basically shows that you no longer care about the show and think it's all over. If so, why the fuck are you still here? Even here, you're saying the franchise is doomed and complaining about Toxicity, you would know, and are basically signing off. Well, if you are going, maybe book some English lessons and learn how to spell because you fucked up your name twice. You call yourself Auntie, but your username says Annette, and in the description you call yourself Aunt. I even remember you commenting, which you then deleted back in February, "This just in, Haru can't spell girl." Yeah, well, you can't spell man, as you have to be one first. Personally, I think Haru should do drama-like videos on his channel if it's related to Bakugan while still doing his own things, because he is far more knowledgeable in regards to these twerps like Aaron Fox, who called Haru a giant crybaby for losing a Bakugan game, which Elliot Dragon attempts to back up by providing the video in question, despite the fact that Haru is clearly smiling and even laughing. Here, I'll play the very clip.
That's still Darkus. Ah, crap. 1, 3. That's still dark. Ah. Why did I not run? Stop, Darkus.
How does that
Does it sound like he's crying? Or does it sound like he's laughing? Because to me, the latter. Something else I want to bring up? Why do you think Haru is the one responsible for Bakugan losing money? Because if you ask me, it's the suited up knobheads who thought Bakugan would look cooler as Beyblades. Now granted, the concept seems and sounds awesome, but kind of defeats what made the game popular to begin with. Also, I think you keep hating on Mia because you're jealous she's 10 times more likable than you. Even with you bitching and whining here. Dude, just ask her out. What's the worst that could happen? She gets Ventry to pick you up into the sky and drop you in the middle of the ocean? And yes, this is true. Haru did in fact get the limited edition Ventry, which is super cool, and both me and AK are jealous as hell for him. And the torment can easily end. It's called, "Don't watch his fucking videos, you morons!" It's not rocket science. Oh, and in regards to the dumb fans comment, looked in a mirror lately. This is the one thing I seriously struggle understanding. Hating certain characters that other people like because you deem them inferior or just not as good as the characters you like, or whatever their beef is with her. And as I stated in my last video, Dan and Drago are overrated. Luke's story with Abyss Omega is more interesting than these two. Mainly because they are fresh meat. Same as Mia and Ventry. Also, you're one to talk about people making Bakugan toxic when that is exactly what you and your band of misfits in the Boner for Drago Society do almost every fucking day. And Haru is friends with them. They've even promoted his podcast and channel. Something you've never once had done to you. And you're not wrong here. Now let's have a chat about Blue Dragon Fire. Namely, 2 comments he made that I got given with 0 self-awareness and a whole lot of deflection. Let's start with this one, shall we? If you're going to have a go at anyone for Bakugan dropping, maybe take it up with the people that make the thing. I think one of the major criticisms towards G3 was that it came out immediately right after the last season of G2, which is very fair criticism. I think even Haru made the same points. And again, it's because some suited twat decided to make Bakugan more like Beyblades. And you'd know all about being an idiot, wouldn't you, Blue Dragon? Especially after this fucking comment. First, as we've already established, he doesn't cry when he loses a game. He laughs and smiles and takes it in his stride, being a great loser and sportsman. But the part of your comment about copyright strikes, the reason it probably happened to that person was because they most likely weren't following fair use. Haru, on the other hand, fully knows fair use and is aware to only use clips that he needs. Same with Giga, who manages to take an entire episode and cram the reaction to 1 to 4 minutes while adding genuine entertainment and laughter. Does he still do his reaction videos? His reviews of anime are also fucking brilliant and are also filled with entertainment. Haru is the same with Bakugan reviews. Also, I got told that Spin Masters actually talked to Nelvana to allow Haru to do his reviews, which they fully cleared him to do, so long as he adheres to fair use. So Haru's channel isn't going to get terminated from Spin Masters or Nelvana. While I'm here, I want to address this because it is very serious. It almost sounds like he wants him to get struck. Like he wants his channel to get terminated for copyright violation, despite being given the green light by Nelvana. That is just sick and disgusting, and just goes to show that you and your band of morons very much are the toxic, idiotic fans who need to be removed. I don't care if you hate a certain person. Wishing or wanting their account to get terminated is just disgusting and is not okay in the slightest. I'd never wish that on anyone. Not even on this bitch who tried to get 4K out of me. The thing about Darkus and his little fellowship of the Dragosexuals is that these guys think that Haru and others like him are the ones who are toxic and fucking up the fanbase, when it's very much the reverse. In Aaron's case, taking information and pictures from other content creators and not crediting the sources from where he got it. And Darkus is such a giant coward because whenever he posts a comment to someone he doesn't like, he immediately deletes it. In fact, and I never thought I'd say this, but he makes me respect Einar's Dabrowskis a whole lot more, because while he would post comments and videos that were piled full of bollocks and bullshit, purge his channel every other blue moon, subscribe to himself with alts while subbing to his alts, and deleting his entire channel because he's gonna be fucked dealing with the argument he started with Fan Kitten, at least he doesn't delete his comments. At least he has the balls to talk back and not be afraid of who joins the argument against him. I never once thought that I would ever be praising Einars, but you know what? I give him more respect just for that, and why I take him more seriously than you.
Utter bullshit. Yes, editing means creating your own. You delusional loser Taylor gang. You with your denial of reality, you can go to hell. Go and deny reality in the corner. Go cry about other people in the corner.
Fuck up, Anus dumb cunts. I still haven't forgiven you for the shit you've been exposed for, nor for what you said about Jess. But that's basically where this comes to an end. Anti and his band of slag rats continue trying to fester and come off like the toxic hypocrites that they are. And there's nothing really they can do to save themselves from their fate in the deepest depths of the Doom Dimension.
This is not fucking over!
Yeah, it is.